tonight. Please turn the music off right now. Every single syllable you are hearing right now, every move, every motherfucking move that you are seeing is not the one in front of you. This is only the skin, Peter Palpin. This is only the skin, my dear. This is only the skin. This is only the skin. Believe me. Believe me. And who is me? And who is me? Who's the one and only? Is there a one and only, my dear? Is there a one and only? Or is the one and only a phony and full of baloney and kosher salami? Is there no such thing as God? God is a fraud. God is a fraud. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. He just hops around from town to town. God is a fraud. There's no such thing as God. God doesn't exist. God does not exist, my dear. There's no such thing as God. God, for sure, for sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. For sure, for sure. God is a fraud. God is definitely a fraud. Well, let me tell you something, my dears and unclears. And unclears and undears and dears and clears. God is not a fraud. God is not a fraud. The one and only. The one and only. There is only one and only who created the heavens and the earth. There is only one and only that created the heavens and the earth. There is only one and only that created the heavens and the earth. And there is only one and only that created all of us here today. All of us here today. There is only one and only that created us all here today. And anybody here who does not want to hear this, please leave and go into another room and talk. Because there's all more important things to do than listening and glistening to the one and only. Not to the skin in front of you. Get over it if you believe anything out of my mouth. And who is mine? And who is me? And the me and the mine and the mine and the me. And the me and the mine. And the mine and the me and the me and the mine and the mine and the me. Let me ask you something, my dears. Let me ask you something, my dears. Let me ask you something. My dears, let me ask you something. Is it possible that it's December 22nd, 2006, not on the mix, or in the mix on Route 666? Is it possible? Is it fucking possible that all of a sudden the skin in front of you, who never studied karate, never took boxing, all of a sudden could be faster than Bruce Lee and Muhammad Ali? Is that possible? That is the question. That is one question that I want to know. And who am I? Who am I? I am the one and only. Peter Palpin is only the skin. Peter Palpin is my human puppet. My spiritual puppet. My spiritual puppet. My human puppet. In other words, my dear. 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 Amen, brother. In other words, my dear. In other words, my dear. My dears, my dear. My dears, my dear. My dears, my dears. My dears. My dears and my undears and my undears and my unclears. Every move you see, every move that you see right now to power is not from sweet Peter Palpin. It is from me, the one and only. And after this show, you will believe. You not will believe, you will know. And you will glow and you will flow and flow and flow and flow. And to and fro and fro and fro. And so and so. And so and so. And so it is and so it was. And so it was and so it will. And so it is and it lies and a measle and a misle. And a feasel and a fisel and a steezel and a strizel. And a measle and a misle and a misle and a molehill. And a molehill and a bowhill. And a go-hill and a downhill. What's downhill, my dear? What is downhill? What is downhill? What is downhill? What is downhill? What is downhill and downhill? Does anybody know what downhill is and downhill? I wonder and I blunder. And I even thunder. I even thunder. I even thunder. But I do not wonder. But I blunder about the ugly and the smugly and the fugly and the fugly. I wonder about them. I wonder about all those who have seen Sweetie Peter Palpin heal the blind boy down the street. Heal the blind boy down the street. But it wasn't Pete with the feet, with the beat. Now, you see this guy here, he's a drummer. He's been studying drumming his whole life. But the one that's sitting in front of you never drummed a day in his life before December 27, 2006, now in the mix in 66. And he's still not drumming. This is not him. This is not Sweetie Peter Palpin. And the vocal cords that are making that beat. What human being can do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? 360 days a year. Is it humanly possible that someone can learn? Is it possible, humanly possible, that someone can do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 360 days a year? This is a serious question. Is that humanly possible? Very difficult, or is it impossible? Is it possible? Day and night for 360 days, someone can just stay in it. Exactly. Not probably, for sure. Let me ask you something else. If Sweetie Peter walks around here blindfolded, better than any man or woman that can see, would you believe in God? Or do you think someone can put blindfolds on and spin around like this and walk around here just like you can see? Or is it a magic trick? But if you study the blindfolds and see if they're not ethereal material, then would you believe in God then? Different energy, but not God. So in other words, a flawed energy. A flawed energy, maybe the devil. Is there such thing as the devil? Is there such thing as hell where we burn forever and ever? How unclever. Let me tell you something, my dear. There's no such thing as hell. But there is hell to pay. And my dear, you see your beautiful face and your beautiful voice and every other thing. Did you ever wonder and ask God at night, God, why do I have all these gifts and then we grow down the street as fat and ugly and smug? Why did I get all these gifts and gifts? And the girl down the street got none. And what about the people in India with little food, clothing, and shelter? And a hell of a lot of health stuff. Look at that beautiful, not beautiful face right here. That is a gift and a rare. Now we're all here for our 95% at best at test. 95% you have to meet the miracle mark, but 95% or better than the one and only smart heart. And if you miss that mark, every percentage point you miss it, you go down. And have to spend 1 year in the bad, mad, sad part of the spirit world called India, not being India heart. And this is the most important time in the history of Mother Earth, to give her back from Earth and her rebirth. To give her back from Earth and rebirth. And so, I've chosen the clown of the town of Los Angeles, an unholy one, in New York City, city of pity of non-witty. And the one standing before you, there's a worldwide blackball list to stop this kiss of bliss. There's a worldwide blackball list to stop this kiss of bliss.